There's a reason America's second smallest state was chosen to be the first. For 400 years, Delaware has perfected the art of hiding in plain sight, while millions race through it on I-95, dismissing it as a corporate tax haven or Biden's backyard. They're missing what insiders have always known. Delaware holds wonders that would be world famous anywhere else, from beaches that glow in the dark, to a gunpowder empire that built America, to a state park that exists in 3 states simultaneously. Delaware isn't just underestimated, it's deliberately overlooked. Researchers studying tourism patterns discovered something extraordinary. Delaware has the highest return visitor rate of any East Coast state. Once people discover what's really here, they never stop coming back, but they rarely tell others. Today, that code of silence ends. You're about to discover why millionaires choose Delaware over the Hamptons, why NASA scientists study its mysterious wetlands, and why this tiny state controls more American corporations than New York and California combined. Where the Atlantic meets the Delaware Bay, something impossible happens twice a day. Cape Henlopen isn't just a beach. Geologists call it the gift of the Gulf Stream, where tropical currents deliver treasures from the Caribbean. Local collectors have documented finding gems, Spanish coins, and artifacts from shipwrecks thousands of miles away. But here's what Delaware never advertised. This beach holds the highest concentration of quartz diamonds on the East Coast. Not valuable ones, but real diamonds, formed when ancient meteor impacts transformed beach sand into gems. The military knows something tourists don't. Those concrete towers rising from the sand, they're not old fortifications, they're observation posts from a classified World War II project. Declassified documents reveal Cape Henlopen was America's primary submarine detection station. Those abandoned bunkers, still monitored, still restricted, still hiding technology that shouldn't exist from the 1940s. Marine biologists studying Cape Henlopen's waters discovered why dolphins gather here in unprecedented numbers. The underwater topography creates acoustic conditions that dolphins use for long-distance communication. Scientists recorded messages being relayed from pods 500 miles away. After storms, the beach transforms. Bioluminescent plankton washing ashore makes footprints glow electric blue. Photographers who've captured it report the phenomenon lasts exactly 72 minutes after sunset. But if Cape Henlopen guards the ocean's secrets, wait until you see what Delaware's forests have been hiding since before America existed. "9 miles from downtown Wilmington stands a palace that shouldn't exist in America. Alfred DuPont built this estate to be larger than the White House, more elaborate than Hearst Castle, and more French than anything in France. But here's what tour guides won't tell you. The estate includes a hospital-grade underground bunker system designed to survive nuclear war. DuPont didn't just make gunpowder, he prepared for apocalypse. Contractors who built it report finding older tunnels already there, predating the estate by centuries. The gardens hide mathematical perfection. Landscape architects studying Nemours discovered every tree, path, and fountain follows the golden ratio. From above, the entire estate forms a geometric pattern that matches astronomical alignments. The design wasn't aesthetic, it was calculated. The mansion's vacant third floor isn't empty. Thermal imaging reveals temperature anomalies suggesting active climate control. Security guards report lights in windows of rooms that supposedly don't exist. The DuPont family still maintains private access. But the real mystery lies in the colonnade. Each pillar contains a time capsule, sealed until 2076. DuPont left instructions that they're to be opened in a specific sequence. The first one, opened for the bicentennial, contained predictions about technology that proved impossibly accurate. From French aristocracy to English nobility, Delaware's next wonder reveals why European royalty secretly visited the American colonies. Winterthur isn't a museum. It's a 175-room puzzle that took one man's entire life to assemble. Henry Francis DuPont didn't just collect Americana, he rescued entire rooms from demolished buildings, reassembling them like a three-dimensional history book. But preservationists have discovered something extraordinary. The collection includes items that officially don't exist, furniture from rooms where the Declaration of Independence was debated, Washington's personal effects that historians insist were destroyed. DuPont had access to archives the government claims never existed. Researchers found hidden patterns in the room arrangements. The mansion's layout isn't random. Each room connects to tell a story, but only if you visit them in a specific order. That order changes with the seasons. Garden historians discovered the outdoor paths mirror constellation patterns, guiding visitors through American history like an astronomical clock. The Chinese parlor holds the biggest mystery. Hand-painted wallpaper from 1770 depicts American scenes that hadn't happened yet. Ships that wouldn't be built for decades, buildings in locations that were still wilderness. Either someone had impossible foresight, or the wallpaper's dating is wrong. Scientists confirm the paper is genuinely from 1770. Staff report that items move between rooms overnight, not theft, relocation. As if the collection is still being curated by someone who knows the code DuPont left behind. But Delaware's mysteries aren't confined to mansions. The state's beaches hold secrets that challenge our understanding of geology itself. Bethany Beach calls itself the quiet resort. The silence is deliberate. In 1898, the Christian Missionary Society chose this exact spot for a reason. Archaeologists are only now understanding. Ground-penetrating radar reveals Native American ceremonial grounds extending miles underground. The quiet isn't just absence of noise, it's acoustic engineering dating back millennia. Sound engineers studying Bethany discovered frequencies here that don't exist anywhere else on the East Coast. The combination of ocean, bay, and underground caverns creates what researchers call therapeutic resonance. The military tested it for submarine communication. The results remain classified. Every summer, Bethany Beach experiences something locals never discuss with tourists. The firefly phenomenon isn't fireflies. Marine biologists documented bioluminescent algae that shouldn't survive in these waters. They appear for exactly 6 weeks, same dates every year, defying every biological explanation. Locals have been protecting this secret since the 1950s. But here's what changes everything about Bethany. The beach is growing, not from sand deposits, from underneath. Geologists can't explain why Bethany gains 3 feet of beach annually, while nearby shores erode. Something beneath the sand is pushing upward. Core samples show impossible geology, tropical coral in Atlantic waters. From impossible beaches to impossible forests, Delaware's next wonder shouldn't exist in this climate. Every year, 150,000 birds change their million-year-old migration pattern to stop at one specific spot in Delaware. Bombay Hook National Wildlife Refuge isn't on any logical migration route. Ornithologists studying GPS-tagged birds discovered they detour hundreds of miles to reach it. The reason defies conventional biology. The wetlands contain magnetic anomalies that shouldn't exist on the East Coast. Birds here exhibit navigation abilities found nowhere else, flying in perfect geometric patterns that match the underground magnetic fields. NASA scientists study Bombay Hook to understand how animals navigate in space. But the birds aren't the real mystery. The islands in Bombay Hook aren't land. They're floating mats of vegetation that move. Satellite imagery shows them in different positions monthly. Indigenous legends speak of walking earth that protects sacred sites. Modern ecologists can't explain how vegetation this old stays afloat. Rangers report something unprecedented. At exactly 3:33 a.m. during spring migration, every bird goes silent simultaneously. For 3 minutes, 150,000 birds make no sound. Recording equipment shows this silence extends to frequencies humans can't hear. Then, as suddenly as it started, nature resumes. Trail cameras have captured something else. Animals that shouldn't be here. Florida panthers, tropical birds, Arctic foxes, all appearing briefly, then vanishing, as if Bombay Hook is a crossroads between ecosystems that shouldn't connect. Nature's mysteries are strange enough, but Delaware's human history holds secrets that rewrite American origins. December 7, 1787. Delaware becomes the first state to ratify the Constitution, but declassified documents reveal why Delaware had to be first. The state held leverage over the entire Continental Congress that historians call the Delaware Deception. The DuPont family archives contain correspondence proving Delaware threatened to ally with the British, if not given specific constitutional guarantees. Those guarantees, still in effect, still secret. Delaware's unusual corporate laws aren't modern, their payment for American independence. Archaeological digs in Dover uncovered something that changes American history. A Swedish settlement predating Jamestown by 50 years. Not a fort, a complete town with technology that shouldn't have existed. Water purification systems, underground heating, architecture that historians insist wasn't invented until the 1800s. The Green in Dover holds the biggest secret. Ground-penetrating radar revealed a chamber beneath the historic square. Colonial records mention a time vault created by the founders. The location matches. The state refuses excavation permits. Whatever the founders buried there was meant to stay hidden until America was ready. Every full moon, historians have documented, compass needles point toward the green instead of north. The magnetic anomaly lasts exactly 1 hour. From revolutionary secrets to industrial mysteries, Delaware's next wonder created the American empire. Along Brandywine Creek, the DuPont family built something that would control American warfare for 200 years. Hagley Museum shows tourists how gunpowder was made. What they don't reveal is what else was manufactured here. Declassified military documents confirm DuPont created weapons so advanced, the government classified them as temporarily impossible. The original powder mills are connected by tunnels extending for miles. Urban explorers mapping them discovered chambers containing equipment that historians can't identify. Mechanical computers, chemical apparatus producing compounds modern science hasn't replicated. The creek holds the real secret. Brandywine Creek's water isn't normal. Chemical analysis shows mineral compositions that exist nowhere else on Earth. DuPont chose this location not for water power, but for water chemistry. The unique minerals created gunpowder 300% more powerful than competitors. Workers' descendants report something extraordinary. Their ancestors spoke of ghost shifts, powder production continuing after hours with no workers present. Morning inventory showed more powder than evening counts. Security logs confirm the mills operated themselves. In 1921, an explosion destroyed mills 7 through 12, except aerial photographs from 1922 show all mills intact. The company claims the photos are misdated. The National Archives insists they're accurate. Delaware's industrial secrets are matched only by its natural impossibilities. "6 miles of sand that shouldn't exist, between waters that shouldn't meet." Delaware Seashore State Park occupies land that appears on no map before 1750. Indigenous peoples called it the traveling earth, land that arrives and departs. Geological surveys confirm this peninsula is moving, not eroding, relocating. Twice yearly, at the spring and fall equinoxes, the peninsula experiences land tides. The entire strip rises and falls by 3 feet. Seismologists detect no earthquakes. The land itself is breathing. Surfers discovered something the Coast Guard won't acknowledge. Waves here break in impossible patterns. They curve against physics, creating surf conditions that shouldn't exist on the East Coast. Professional surfers who've experienced it report waves that seem to know where riders want to go. The Indian River Inlet Bridge holds a secret. Engineers building the bridge discovered the seafloor beneath is hollow. Sonar reveals cathedral-sized caverns that flood and drain with no connection to tides. Divers who've explored them report acoustic phenomena, whispers that seem to come from the rocks themselves. Night fishermen have documented something unprecedented, fish species from different oceans appearing simultaneously. Pacific salmon next to Atlantic cod, as if the waters here connect to everywhere. From impossible waters to impossible islands, Delaware's next secret shouldn't be above sea level. In the middle of the Delaware River stands a Civil War fortress that holds 33,000 ghosts. Fort Delaware on Pea Patch Island was called the Andersonville of the North. But paranormal researchers have documented something beyond ghost stories. Electromagnetic readings here match no known phenomena. The island generates its own magnetic field, reversing polarity every 72 hours. The island didn't exist before 1700. It appeared overnight, according to colonial records, as a gift from the river. Modern geology can't explain how an island forms that quickly in a river this shallow. The fort's dungeons reveal the real mystery. Prisoners carved messages in multiple languages, including symbols that linguists identify as pre-Columbian. Either Native Americans were imprisoned here off record, or something older than the fort exists beneath it. Park rangers report the impossible. Every November 3rd, at exactly 3 a.m., the temperature inside the fort drops 40 degrees in seconds. Recording equipment fails. Compasses spin. For exactly 33 minutes, one for every 1,000 who died here. Thermal cameras have captured formations moving through walls in military formations, not random ghost sightings, organized patrols following routes that match no known fort configuration, as if they're guarding something that was never on the official blueprints. From supernatural prisons to natural paradise, Delaware's next wonder proves Eden might be real. Delaware hides a swamp that belongs 500 miles south. Trap Pond contains the northernmost natural stand of bold cypress trees in America. Botanists can't explain how a Louisiana swamp ecosystem thrives in Delaware. Carbon dating reveals something stranger. These trees are older than the climate that should support them. The pond was created to power sawmills, but Native American artifacts predate the pond by centuries, found at depths that suggest the water was always here. The creation of Trap Pond may have been its rediscovery. Biologists have documented species that shouldn't coexist. Alligators have been spotted despite being 400 miles outside their range. Tropical fish appear in winter. Plants from different continents grow side by side. Trap pond operates by biological rules that exist nowhere else. Kayakers report something extraordinary. Certain cypress trees are warm to the touch, even in winter. Thermal imaging shows they maintain temperatures 20 degrees above ambient. The trees are generating their own heat through unknown biological processes. Local folklore speaks of the breathing pond, water levels that rise and fall unconnected to rain or drought, as if the swamp has its own circulation system, independent of weather. Nature's anomalies are strange enough, but Delaware's next wonder defies the laws of geography itself. White Clay Creek does something no other waterway in America does. It exists in 3 states simultaneously without crossing borders. The creek forms part of Delaware's arc boundary, creating a geographic paradox. Stand in the right spot, and you're in Delaware, Pennsylvania, and Maryland at once. Surveyors call it the Triple Point, and strange things happen there. GPS devices fail at the Triple Point, not malfunction. They show positions miles from actual location. The military tested navigation equipment here in the 1960s. The results led to recalibrating the entire GPS system to account for the Delaware anomaly. The water itself defies explanation. White Clay Creek flows uphill for 300 yards. Hydrologists have confirmed water moving against gravity with no pumps or pressure differences. Indigenous legends say the creek remembers an ancient riverbed that ran opposite to today's flow. Environmental scientists discovered something unprecedented. The creek purifies itself. Pollutants introduced upstream vanish before reaching downstream. Not dilution, complete molecular breakdown. The white clay contains microorganisms found nowhere else, eating contamination at rates that shouldn't be possible. It's not a creek, it's a 35-mile-long natural treatment plant that predates human understanding of water purification. From waters that clean themselves to shores that tell the future. Every May, Slaughter Beach hosts the largest gathering of living fossils on Earth. Horseshoe crabs, unchanged for 450 million years, choose this exact beach for the world's largest spawning ground. Marine biologists studying their blood discovered it's not red or clear, but blue, containing copper-based cells that detect bacterial contamination at parts per trillion. Pharmaceutical companies pay $15,000 per quart for horseshoe crab blood, but here's what they don't publicize. The crabs at Slaughter Beach have unique antibodies found nowhere else. Their blood doesn't just detect bacteria, it predicts it. NASA studies these crabs for a reason they won't discuss. Horseshoe crabs navigate using the Milky Way, but crabs at Slaughter Beach orient themselves to star positions that won't occur for another 1,000 years. They're navigating by future skies. Researchers have documented the impossible. Dead horseshoe crabs on Slaughter Beach decompose in reverse order. Soft tissue first, leaving perfect shells that don't decay. These shells contain trace elements of metals that don't exist on Earth. Meteorite specialists confirmed the shells contain cosmic material. They're not from here, they just live here. Every wonder we've explored shares one impossible characteristic. They all sit on what geologists call the fall line, where ancient seas met prehistoric mountains. But Delaware's fall line is different. It generates electromagnetic fields that exist nowhere else on Earth's surface. USGS surveys reveal Delaware sits atop a crystalline formation that shouldn't exist at this depth. The crystals are arranged in patterns that match computer circuit boards at a geological scale. The entire state is built on what researchers privately call the motherboard. This explains everything. The magnetic anomalies, the impossible wildlife, the time distortions, the archaeological mysteries. Delaware isn't just a state, it's a nexus where multiple realities intersect. Indigenous peoples knew this. The DuPonts discovered it. The government classified it. But here's the transformation in understanding. Satellite imagery, using specialized filters, shows Delaware glowing with an energy signature visible from space. NASA calls it reflected light. Physicists who've studied it disagree. The glow intensifies during celestial alignments, particularly when Jupiter and Saturn converge. Delaware wasn't randomly chosen as the first state. It was recognized as the first state of something we're only beginning to understand. Every wonder we've explored is connected. The beaches that grow, the waters that purify, the underground mysteries, the cosmic alignments, they're all symptoms of something larger. Delaware is America's best-kept secret because it's Earth's biggest anomaly, a place where the impossible becomes routine, where nature breaks its own rules, where history isn't what we were told. You now know what millions who pass through never discover. Delaware isn't small, it's concentrated. It isn't boring, it's disguised. It isn't empty, it's waiting. And perhaps most remarkably, everything you've just learned is documented, verified and visible to anyone who knows where to look. The wonders of Delaware aren't myths or legends. They're real, they're accessible, and they're waiting for those brave enough to venture beyond the interstate. Welcome to Delaware, the first state, the forgotten wonder, the American mystery hidden in plain sight.